The recent season of the English Premier League is one that will be remembered, not necessarily for the quality of football, but for the way it temporarily surrendered. It started off strong, at least from a Scouser's point of view. City dropping points at Norwich. Otamendi, how much did they pay you? It continued like this for City as they failed to beat a number of the smaller clubs. However, Sterling and co still played some amazing footy, which saw Bernardo Silva hit up the Girvan pubs. There were some big names coming into the league, and not of those who would pull on the jersey. Mourinho returned to London after the sacking of Poch, and Ancelotti joined the blue side of Mersey. Despite the revival of Calvert-Lewin, Everton still had their worst season in 16 years. Pickford was shocking, Moise Kean was double subbed, and the defence were like runaway deers. Emery was told to F off by Arsenal fans, which with the Gunners is nothing but typical. You know they had a bad season when their best moment was when Watford saved their Invincibles. The other side of North London was also poor, and were as if they were on the furlough dole. The only thing that Spurs would have had to shout about was Heung-min Son's halfway solo goal. They say great things come in threes, but for Leicester you can triple that. Slotting 9 by Southampton, only with Schmeichel in the team they can mimic that. It's hard to bounce back from that sort of scudding, and the end was almost near for Ralph, but with 22 goals from Danny Ings, he could relax and enjoy a game of golf. Mr Potter could also relax as he kept his team up, despite being near the relegation mouth. Maupay scored a few important goals, and why'd you have to give us this awkward rhyme, Ralph? Palace won at Old Trafford for the first time since 1989, and Wolves made the top 7 again with the main Mexican leading the line. Norwich got shat on. They went down. Not much hope when your manager gives you a 5% chance to stay up. Absolute clown. The other two teams were decided on the last day. Aston Villa clawed and somehow got it their way. Watford and Bournemouth will return to the Championship after a few years away, but with a lot of injuries and not many goals, both teams can't really complain. Well, Bournemouth would be safe if West Ham weren't so stupid and Antonio continued his goal scoring reign. Sheffield had Ollie as their big man up top as they were expected to go down. They should have had an extra 2 points if the ref's watch's internet hadn't went down. Chris Wilder made his team hard to beat in the Elena Fortress, barely spending a penny and using their own Fleck, Dean Henderson and McGoldrick. However, the biggest impact their Premier League debutant made was purchased just after Christmas. It was a man from Portugal called Bruno Fernandes. He turned the whole team around and picked them up off their feet, put Ollie back at the wheel, which turned out was a cursed tweet. They snuck into the top 4 as they beat Leicester in the final week, and Schmeichel tried to play outfield, but his one-star skill moves giving J-Lings a repeat. Oh my god. But with their second highest ever finish in the Prem is nothing to be ashamed of for Brenda. Vardy getting the golden boot, 23 in total. You wouldn't want to be a defender. The other top 4 team was Frank's Chelsea. He done really well, considering he couldn't sign MD. Mount was at the heart of most things good. Honourable mentions go to the Yank, Kovacic, Tammy and Giroud. But Chelsea have some power coming in the underground tube. Maybe Werner can go for top goal scorer, like no other German could. There was a bit of heat towards the end as Lamps put Klopp in his place, but Jurgen won't care, he can barely wipe that smile off his face. And of course, neither could the red side of Liverpool after ending 30 years of pain. Gerrard couldn't even watch the celebrations due to a Gers friendly, what a shame. But Liverpool went 1 point better off than the last and have put any mistakes and slips in the past. The front 3 of Salah, Mane and Firmino done bits, and Alisson proved himself as the main Brazilian between the sticks. Van Dijk was for the most part solid and Fabinho controlled the pitch. Henderson lifted the trophy and Robertson complained like a little bitch. But Liverpool are Premier League champions, a Scouser's dream. It's going to be hard to buy anyone that can improve their team. And no, I haven't forgotten about the unwanted suspension of the whole of world football due to Corona. You don't know what you have until it's gone. Goals, saves, stepovers, petit points and Rabonas. Hopefully the world stays safe and we can return to the norm, and football can again reach its full potential and find its old form. However, there are things bigger in life than the beautiful game, but thank you to the NHS and all key workers, helping the world feel a little less pain.